types who are realizing that being on the wrong side of history is not fun.
He's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it. As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight.
We got one example of that on Bill Maher's show last night with Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is developmentally disabled. I say this in an academic sense. I mean not to disparage Neil deGrasse Tyson. I mean quite literally, the man does not know what he's talking about, nor do I think he has the capabilities to understand basic things. Now,
is the need to find ways to slice the athletic universe.
It's called male and
such
female.
That we still have interesting fair matches. And is it a combination of did you go through puberty as a male and then transition?
Holy
crap.
crap.
Puberty blocker.
This guy has never read a single introduction to human biology. Neil deGrasse Tyson is a fraud, and y'all know it. You don't need me to say it. Anyone who's done a more...
Boxing as we know it is officially a joke, and I can't even believe we're talking about it. The whole thing feels like a Netflix original, doesn't it? I mean, they've got the scam, the drama, and they're probably already planning a documentary about how they made millions off this mess. It's hilarious and sad. You can almost hear them laughing all the way to the bank. But seriously, did Tyson really sell out for $20 million? I can't wrap my head around it. This man was a beast in his prime, and now he's acting like a puppet on strings. Jake Paul? Don't even get me started. This guy's over here claiming he's a boxer, but let's be real. He fought a 58-year-old guy who couldn't even breathe right, let alone throw punches like he used to. And get this, Tyson's holding back punches. Did you catch that? He's literally pulling his punches like it was all scripted from the start. You could see the guilt on his face, the shame in his eyes as he bit his glove, knowing he was doing this to his legacy and his fans. But here's the kicker. Jake gets $40 million. Tyson gets half of that. How's that fair? Tyson's the one who brought in the crowd, not Jake. It's like watching a rich kid play pretend with a legend. It's honestly pathetic. No respect for Jake or Tyson at this point. They both sold out. Tyson for a payday and Jake for attention. Honestly, watching this fight was like watching a bad reality TV show. People knew it was rigged from the start. Everyone saw it. Tyson's face said it all. If this fight was real, it would have been over in a minute. But no, they dragged it out like it was the main event of the century, making all that money off of people who still believe in real boxing. And what's worse, there are folks out there still defending Jake Paul. If this wasn't rigged, Tyson would have knocked him out in the first round. It's embarrassing for boxing. It's worse than mafia fix fights, and those at least had some entertainment value. Here, we got a fixed fight, 2 sellouts, and a whole lot of money stolen from fans. The real shame? Netflix and their endless streaming of these fights. They're the real winners in this whole scam. They've got a cash cow, and they just keep milking it. It's all about money now, not integrity. Both of these guys should be banned from the sport. I mean, Jake Paul isn't even a real boxer. He's just using legends to boost his career. It's like the wildest form of a publicity stunt gone wrong. Let's just hope the next fight is the real deal, though something tells me we're in for more scripted nonsense.
It was blatantly obvious. Go watch Mike Train, and John Jones is an absolute problem. Everything he's built.
It's like, look, if Pete Rose if 75-year-old Pete Rose went and struck out against Shohei Ohtani, I don't think it diminished how good of a hitter he was.
We're going to do this. And Jake Paul, they asked Jake Paul, did he take his foot off the gas? Stephen A., this is what he said. Yeah, definitely a bit. I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt.
In his prime. It's just, you beat up an old-ass Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's going to look back and be like, man, Mike Tyson got knocked out, but yet he was 60.
No.
Yeah, but I do think it would have been worse had he gotten knocked out, which he didn't.
Mike Tyson and Jake Paul have just made headlines for all the wrong reasons, as they've been arrested after their so-called epic boxing match turned into one of the most absurd spectacles in the sport's history. What was supposed to be an intense showdown quickly morphed into a cash grab and a complete mockery of boxing. For fans who admire Mike Tyson, this fiasco was tough to watch. Instead of a fierce battle, we saw slow-motion punches, awkward movements, and a spectacle that barely resembled the sweet science. It became obvious that the whole thing was scripted from the start. Tyson, once a legendary heavyweight champion, seemed more like he was just going through the motions, while Jake Paul, the former YouTuber turned boxer, played his part as the self-proclaimed prodigy. But the real joke was the payout. Tyson walked away with a hefty $20 million, while Jake Paul pocketed a staggering $40 million for a performance that was more akin to two grandpas bickering over the last slice of pizza than a professional fight. It gets even crazier when you realize that, according to DJ Who Kid, both fighters were actually instructed not to go all out. That's right, Tyson and Paul were told to take it easy, which is ridiculous when you think about it. How can a so-called fight be so clearly scripted? The moment a leaked script hit the internet, fans went wild, and the backlash was swift. Apparently, Tyson was supposed to underperform, making it look like he had lost his edge while giving Jake Paul a chance to shine. But the moment Tyson had a clear shot at Paul, he hesitated. Why? Because the money was too good to risk ruining the show. Now, things have escalated beyond the ring. Both Tyson and Paul are facing lawsuits after the fight was dubbed the scripted spectacle heard around the world.
Absolutely wild. Memes, tweets, hot takes, you name it. It is everywhere. And people can't get over how close the fight came to matching that eked script. In the end, everyone got what they came for. Pure entertainment.
The bout Jake did in round 8. This profile on X posted it anonymously one day before the fight, explaining everything before deleting it today. A fake script.
Streaming giant Netflix is being issued a class action in relation to the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. TMZ reports the lawsuit is over streaming issues and a breach of contract. Thousands of viewers claim they had trouble watching the fight,
with some people claiming that it was rigged because many people bet a lot of money and they lost a lot of money. Allegedly, there's this script that got leaked.
Now, let's talk about something else that had fans fuming the Netflix streaming issues during the fight. Viewers experienced major...
We know the outcome of the big fights these days before the fight even starts.
Bruh.
Look at the Canelo fight. Eddie Berlanga went on a month-long victory celebration because he lasted 12 rounds. He fucking lost acts who thought they were gonna get Mike Tyson of the 90s come out and rip somebody's head off.
The International Boxing Association, IBA, has called out both fighters, accusing them of rigging the match. Fans are furious, and the legal drama is just beginning. Fans are demanding answers, and the public outcry has made it clear. People are sick of being duped. It wasn't just the fight that was a disaster. The streaming of the event was a nightmare too. Netflix was hit with class action lawsuits over technical issues, including poor video quality, buffering, and crashes at key moments. But that wasn't the worst part. The fight itself was so poorly executed that people are now questioning whether this is the new norm in combat sports. Are we really supposed to accept scripted matches as entertainment? With so much money on the line, it feels more like a performance than a fight. And Jake Paul, the so-called problem child, isn't escaping unscathed. His image as a boxing influencer is now at risk. Can he recover from this? His manager has denied any allegations of rigging, but once those rumors take hold, it's hard to shake them. Fans are divided. Some are calling for Paul to face someone his own size and skill level, while others are suggesting he take on an MMA fighter like Conor McGregor, though we all know that fight will never happen. The entire situation has left fans of boxing enraged. What was supposed to be a showdown for the ages turned into a farce, and now both Tyson and Paul are facing the consequences. This wasn't just a fight, it was a blatant cash grab that undermined everything the sport stands for. Boxing fans are fuming, claiming they've been tricked into watching a staged performance, and the fallout is far from over. As the legal drama unfolds, only time will tell how this whole mess impacts both Tyson's legacy and Paul's influencer persona. Will fans ever take Paul seriously as a boxer again? And how will Tyson's name be remembered after this embarrassment? One thing's for sure, this fight will go down in history, but not for the reasons anyone expected.
Is currently being sued over their Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. And it's not because people think the fight was rigged, though we'll get into. It's because it didn't work. And a lot of people were buffering and unable to watch it despite signing up to pay for it. Now, the bigger question I have about this fight is how come no one is suing over